It's that time of the week. It's that day of the week or the night of the week, depending on where you are in the world. We are in the UK, apart from Ben, who's in sunny Dubai. And we are the Red Room, bringing you all things Liverpool Football Club, that mighty Reds, who are not so mighty at the moment. It's fair to say they're not so mighty at the moment. But the talk, the debate, the chat must go on. We can't stay silent, lads. We can't all be Grizz Khan and not like talking about Liverpool when they lose. You know, I mean, we've got to gain viewership. We've got to gain subs. You know, make the most of this negativity, man. Come on, let's gain some subs, get some likes. You know what I mean? Let's pay. Let's pay our bills, man. And we're gonna talk Liverpool. I'm joking, people. You already know where I'm going with that conversation. I've been accused of all sorts this week, but it is what it is. We're here, we're live, and we're direct. And we're going to be talking Liverpool, slot out, slot in, players out. What's gone wrong? What's the solution? Formation, diamonds are forever, as Welshmo would say. But listen, I can't do all that on my own. I probably could, but I'd bore the shit out of you guys and you'd log off and unsubscribe and block me. I need a panel. And boy, do I have a panel. I have introducing Lewis. Lewis with a great. Wait, hold on. New headphones. Am I
headphones? No.
Am I observantly amazing? Amazingly observant?
No, these are the same pieces of shit I've had for weeks. It's not new here.
They look different color. Maybe it's the light.
I've changed the light color. If that's any sort of. That might have changed things a bit.
Can you know I was asked for blue Peter badges in the group WhatsApp when I want a pat on the back from you? Can you give me a blue Peter? Yeah, can you give me a pat on the back for at least spotting that? See that? I noticed something.
You changed the.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have angry Ben recent weeks. Hopefully the international break has calmed him down. Hopefully it hasn't actually, because I love an angry Ben. We all love an angry Ben. Effing and blinding and spitting feathers at this demise of this great football club. How are we, Ben? How's international? Well, we're still even started yet, but
I don't watch it anyway.
Best to keep away from Liverpool and international break for a little while. Yeah, break from football.
Well, I thought we said, didn't we? We're not out of the woods yet. We've just ended up back in the middle of it. Do you know what, lads? If they give us half a shit that we do, they'd be a much better team, wouldn't they? We'll get into it. Disappointing, lads. I'll tell you how I feel shortly.
I know you will. Welshmo, any more trips to Anfield on the horizon from sunny Wales? Is it one of those driving with glee and hope in your heart, or are you not looking forward to the next drive down? Yeah, next drive down or sideways.
It'll be drive up in it, south to north.
Yeah, it's a bit south Wales.
Driving up. Yes, yeah, okay, fair enough. Dreading the drive or gonna be renewed hope?
Dreading. But luckily we don't. Luckily, I don't have to drive for a couple of weeks. There's no game, is there? So, yeah. Look, what can we say? I mean, I'm sure we're going to chop it all up now. We've like Ben said, we thought we were out the woods. My visual perspective of the woods. You know, a Batman film, Ra's al Ghul's pit, when everyone tries to get out of the pit. Yeah, we thought we were at the pit. We got to the final edge. We got to the ledge, and we slipped back down, man. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, talking about we thought we were out the woods.
Certain
mans were predicting smashings and transitions and all sorts. My brother, of course.
Oh, brother. Honestly, I feel like I've got pie on my face. It's embarrassing because every single group chat that I'm in, on my Twitter, all my friends, you name it, I was like, we're back, the Reds are back, we've turned the corner, we're going to batter City, we're going to keep Haaland quiet, and we're going to, etc. But wow, humbled. As you always say, Grizz, football's a humbler.
But this is it.
Boy, did I get humbled.
It really is. And look, that can work for us as well, because every other fan base is making noise. Let them. The only ones that can chat to us is Man City. because they're the only ones that have won stuff in this era, of any significance. We're the second most successful team, I believe, of the last decade or so, maybe Chelsea.
Liverpool, Chelsea, and City.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got the same as Chelsea.
I'm hoping that we've won more trophies than Chelsea in the last.
We have, but if you include them conference leagues and the friendly in America, then they've got more.
No, we're not counting the Donald Trump trophy. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
No. We're not counting the Donald Trump trophy. But yeah, so let them chat. Football's a humbler. Our time will come. We have to take it on the chin, our kid, as the Manx have been telling me last few days and weeks. Lou, I guess we have to look back to look forward. And looking back is the last game, which was Man City away. Now, obviously, we have a laugh and a joke in the WhatsApp group, and I wind you lot up. I come with the pure negativity, where some people come with the pure positivity, and then we have a few exchanges. You was, fair play to you, very nervous, but your support for Liverpool meant you gave a positive prediction, which I thought was fair enough. Is that how you felt looking back? Was you justified in thinking like that?
No, look, I think that it wasn't so much I was looking at it and thinking that we're going to bat, like, how do I put it without sounding like an utter twat? I wasn't trying to say it in a sense of, look, we're incredible at the moment. We're back on form. We're back at our best. I looked at this as, this is a City team who aren't back to their best. And at the moment, the way in which they're playing, the way that a lot of their play focuses on individual players more so than the system as a whole, I looked at it and thought, okay, what we've seen in the past two matches, dominating midfield, aggressive in the attack, defensively very solid. They're looking at it and thought, well, there's no reason we can't pull out the same performances that we did against Villa and Madrid, against City, because we did it last season. Different team, albeit. And you said that yourself in the group, like City were a shambles last season. But if you look at their midfield, Nico Gonzalez has won 14 of his 16 attempted tackles going into that match. The next highest is Bernardo Silva on 5. That midfield is weak, and it's a midfield that was there for the taking. And the way we played against Madrid and the way we operated, they were there to be beat physically, mentally, and for us to go there and pick up a result. And if I was to go into a match against City and say, we're going to get absolutely battered, I'd be annoyed at myself for thinking it, because we should never be in a circumstance where we think that. It's true. Like, you're absolutely right to say, look, the best we're gonna get out of this is going to be a draw, because in the back of my mind I was like, okay, it's going to be a struggle. But the biggest thing that let us down was ourselves. It wasn't that City completely outplayed us. They did, but we let ourselves down. I don't care if it's Roy Hodgson. I don't care if it's Graham Souness. I don't care if it's Brendan Rodgers, Jurgen Klopp, Arne Slot. I don't care who's in charge. The least I expect from a team, regardless of tactics, is when you're playing a title rival, whether you want to call City that or not this season, is to put in an effort and to at least not get ran all over the pitch and get completely bullied. And we let that happen at the Etihad. We looked like we turned up scared, like it was the City team from 2018-19 and rolled over. And I never want to see that. So if I can go into it thinking, right, we could get something from here, it's only if they put the effort in, because never in a million years did I think we were going to give up the way we did that match on Sunday. And that's the entire reason why I went into that thinking we could get something, because I never expected us to. We could have got outplayed, which we did, but we just got bullied. And I never thought that was going to happen, because I don't expect us to ever put in that kind of performance.
Ben, I think we probably pretty much share those sentiments. You was a bit more positive. You was a bit more upbeat about things. When I saw the lineup of the City team, I was at the Big Six mob watch along, and if people saw it, will know that I was pretty not confident, but I was comfortable. They didn't scare me. Man City's lineup in the past has been, Kevin De Bruyne on point. The little rat, what's his name, Silva, Bernardo Silva, when he could run, and then they had the flankers, and then Rodri as well. That was a scary Man City team, right? Kyle Walker to handle our pace at the back, whatever, right? We knew we're in for a torrid time. Same like there when they come to Anfield. They know they're in for a torrid time when they come to Anfield. I looked at this Man City team though, and I foolishly, looking back, obviously. But I thought, just like Lewis has said, that midfield, Foden, that other player, what was his name? What's his name? The midfielder,
Nico Gonzalez,
and who's the third?
Bernardo
Silva.
As well, weren't he?
I thought all three lads in there, right, on the back of Real Madrid performance, confidence must be a little bit back again. We can outmuscle them. We should be able to outplay them. There is no way they should dominate. What the hell happened, Ben?
Shit our undies, mate, is what happened. There's no two ways around it. Do you know what, Grizz? It's not about I was more positive or nothing. I was thinking these players have let themselves down this season. It's time to get out there and put it on them. City were there to be got at, Grizz. How the manager thought he could go with the same tactics from last year, I never know. Last year was a City side with zero confidence. Liverpool pressed, got the goal shot back. What were we doing? Grizz, City never scared me. We scare me because I don't know what we're going to get anymore. I'll be honest, Grizz, I think the manager can't get a tune out of these players anymore, and the players can't get a tune from him. I've done some stats for our show, Mo. I also told you about some of them as well.
Yeah.
2025, we've lost 16 games, Grizz, in the calendar year. 13 of them are away from home. So the manager's obviously not getting a tune of them when they got all motivating them in the big moments away from home. We become like an Anfield team. Do you know what I mean? Where we seem to do a lot better than we do on the road. And look, regardless who's in or out of a manager, that's not good enough for Liverpool. That is not good enough for anyone in the job.
Do you know what? Right, let's just focus on that a little bit for a couple of minutes before we go into the always tragic events of the Etihad. So, come to you, Scouts. Mo. Ben mentions about the away record, yeah, but then our home record is, if we minus the Man United debacle, last minute goal, which is ridiculous, we've got an impeccable record at home. Is there a mentality issue then away from home? Because when things are not rosy and cozy for us, right? And I hated it, I tweeted it. The worst feeling for me, lads, and I think we're probably all the same. I'm no fucking different. I hate my club being a soft touch.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing as a fan. I used to cuss the shit out of Arsenal being a soft touch. Do you remember they used to get bullied every other game away from home? We're that now. Where did that happen? How did that happen?
I think there's a combination of different things, but one of them probably our transfer business in the summer. Can't lie to you, boys. I know at the time we were like obviously over the moon with some of the players that we bought, and who wouldn't be world-class players, some of them. But looking back on it now, yeah, I'm asking myself the question, like, how these players meant to fit into a system, what system was planned. But then touching on the away, like, of course, there's an issue away from home. Since, like, probably as Ben was mentioning, the PSG second leg. Since then, I think we've lost majority of them away from home. We've only lost once at home, and that was against United. So at home, it seems like it's okay. Maybe it's comfortable for the players. We've got a good atmosphere at Anfield, and they feel more relaxed at home. Away from home, I feel like opposition teams seem to put it on us a lot more. They're a lot more physical. The crowd, the atmosphere, it's a lot more intense. That could possibly be a factor. But at the same time, I never really understand why you can't just, like, your Liverpool Football Club, you play for Liverpool Football Club, your world-class players to play for Liverpool Football Club. A lot of these players have been to the very, very top. So they've experienced playing in the most fiercest of away stadiums. So the least I expect is for you to have the right mentality and the right motivation when you go to like an Etihad, when you go to the GTEC Community Stadium, etc. Like, I need you to have the minimum that and show some desire and show some fight. But this season, especially away from home, I don't think I've seen that. I've hardly seen that, honestly. And as you said, Grizz, that's the worst thing to say about your own club when there's no fight, there's no desire. For me, there's one game in the last like 5 years that always sticks out to me that makes me sick. And that was the one that we lost to United away, where we lost, I think, 2-1 or 3-1. And I remember that game because I was there. And I will never forget how weak our team looked that day.
Was that the one where was that the one early part of the season?
Early part of the season.
It was the third game of the season because we beat Bournemouth 9-0 the next game.
Yeah.
Gomez was partnering Van Dijk at the back, I think.
And I remember that game, and it made me physically sick watching my team because we look so weak. But honestly, I feel like I've seen that sort of performance 3, 4, maybe 5 times this season, and that concerns me hugely. Like, as you said the earlier, Grizz, like I went into this game with positivity, optimism, and the reasons that it's a combination between what Lewis and Ben have mentioned so far. It was like the previous 2 games, how we performed, and also a little bit of like self-respect for themselves to go into this game and try and get at least a point. It's ridiculous. We've lost 5 games. We don't even have a draw to our name. So I've waffled for a bit there, bro. But there's just a combination of so
I
many
just jump
things.
in quick, Grizz. Just on you said Liverpool. Sorry, because I know Mo wants to have it.
No.
But just quickly, do you know? I said 16 defeats this year. 7 of the 16 Liverpool. These are away from home. 7 of the 16. We've lost by 3 or more goals. That tells you how weak Liverpool are.
Oh, that is a
That's
nasty,
bad.
nasty one. Say that again. 7 of
16
those.
defeats. 16 defeats in 2025. 7 of them we've lost by 3 or more goals.
By 3 or more goals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, tell
End
me,
of stream.
is the manager getting a tune out of them on the road? No.
So look,
Wow.
the only skewed thing about that stat is I personally, and look, you guys can look into it deeper if you want, and that's fine. I'm not gonna take too much seriousness from after we won the league, right?
There was only 2 defeats there, by the
There was
way.
only that was Brighton beat
That's
us
fine.
and
That's
Chelsea.
fine. So if that's the case, that's fine. So I personally would take away that, which, by the way, I'm not defending because the rest of the record's still shitty. So I'm not saying, oh, no, it's totally skewed. I'm just saying I personally disregard those defeats, personally. But Welsh Mo, that's just not on, is it? And on any level, when you're talking about Liverpool Football Club, like Mo said, when we're talking about the levels of Liverpool Football Club, that's beyond anything that we can speak on. Like our club, we don't suffer those kind of defeats, and that amount of defeats, that's just unheard of.
Yeah, that's a horrible stat to listen to, isn't it? And then the first thing I thought of was someone mentioned as well in the comments as well. Standards. We have standards as a Liverpool Football Club. So look, 50% of the fan base is probably slot in, 50% of the fan base is probably slot out. Okay, at this present time. How bad does it get? Where do our standards? Where do we draw our line? You know, we've already written off challenging for the league. Most fans have. We've probably all admit that we're in a top 4 battle now. If we lose the next 3-4 games out of 10 leading up to January, and because there's a possibility that could happen, you know, where do we draw the line? You know, and the scary thing about Man City, I think you need to give Baldy Pep a little bit of credit as well. Yes, that on paper that midfield was there to be had up, you know, but that midfield also of Bernardo Silva and Foden especially, they're 2 very press-resistant players. But the thing is, they never got pressed, so we gave them all the time in the world to be architects and do what they want to do, like, and that was the most worrying thing, like, because one game we've proved to fans that, or they proved to us that they can press. We pressed the hell out of Madrid, and then straight away the next game with the same players, there was nothing. So it has to come down to tactics. Why we sat back, set the tone, and as soon as we conceded, it just went downhill. So look, I mean, there's a lot of things you've all said which I agree with, even to the point of transfers and the plan from above. I think Slot has a lot to answer for that. I think Richard Hughes and co, because we don't know what the identity is. I can ask every single one of you now. Tell me what Liverpool is, what our identity is. None of you could give me an answer, and that's the most worrying thing.